Episode 2. Why AI is not intelligent, but still powerful. Season 1. AI Basics, explained without hype. Opening, the AI paradox. Artificial intelligence creates a strange kind of confusion, because it violates our expectations. We are used to power coming from intelligence. We assume that if something can write well, reason well, or outperform humans in complex tasks, it must understand what it is doing. We assume it must have awareness, or intention, or some kind of mind behind the behavior. But AI doesn't have a mind. It doesn't understand. It doesn't experience meaning. It doesn't know anything the way humans know things. And yet, AI is already powerful enough to influence what people see, what people buy, what people believe, and sometimes, what people are allowed to do. So the real question isn't, is AI intelligent? The real question is, how can something that isn't intelligent still be so powerful? This episode explains that paradox. And the answer is simpler, and more unsettling, than most people think. 1. Intelligence versus capability. Let's start with a distinction that clears up most of the confusion. Intelligence is not the same thing as capability. Human intelligence is tied to understanding. It includes meaning, context, judgment, and the ability to reason about why something is true, or why something matters. Capability is different. Capability is about performance, completing tasks, producing outputs, and achieving goals, even if the system has no idea what it's doing in any human sense. A crane can lift more weight than any human. A calculator can outperform any human at arithmetic. A GPS can route you across a city faster than most people can. None of these systems are intelligent. But they are powerful because they are specialized tools built for specific outcomes. AI is the same kind of story, just scaled up and applied to more parts of life. AI isn't a brain. AI is closer to an industrial-scale prediction machine, optimized to perform certain tasks extremely well. And in the modern world, prediction is power. 2. Why AI looks intelligent. If AI isn't intelligent, why does it feel that way? Because it performs tasks that we associate with intelligence. It can generate human-sounding text. It can classify images and identify objects. It can predict what a person might click next. It can summarize a document or rewrite a paragraph. These behaviors resemble intelligence. But resemblance is not reality. Most modern AI systems, especially the ones people interact with, are built around pattern recognition and statistical prediction. Large language models, for example, are trained to predict the next token. A token is like a word piece, in a sequence based on context. That means when an AI writes a sentence, it isn't expressing an idea. It is choosing the next token that best fits patterns learned from massive amounts of text. This is why AI can create fluent writing without understanding the meaning behind it. It's not thinking, it's predicting. And prediction can look like intelligence, especially when the output matches what humans expect to hear. 3. Scale is the real source of AI power. Here's the key idea that explains most of AI's power. AI's power comes from scale, not understanding. There are 3 pillars behind that scale. 1. Data. AI systems learn patterns from data. The more data they have, the more patterns they can detect, and the more situations they can imitate. 2. Computation. AI systems require huge computing resources to process data and tune their internal parameters. 3. Optimization. AI systems are built to optimize objectives, engagement, accuracy, cost reduction, speed, conversion rates, and more. None of these requires consciousness. None requires understanding. But when you combine them, you get something that can reshape behavior at mass scale. And this is where the true power begins. Because the system doesn't need to understand you to influence you. It only needs to predict you. 4. Why AI doesn't need understanding to be effective. A common assumption is that a system must understand you to influence you. That assumption is wrong. A system can influence you without understanding you, if it can model patterns in your behavior. For example, if you tend to click certain types of headlines, the system doesn't need to understand your beliefs to keep you clicking. If you tend to watch certain topics late at night, the system doesn't need to know your emotions to feed you more of the same. If you tend to buy certain products after seeing certain images, the system doesn't need to understand desire, it just needs to learn the pattern. This is a critical shift. Humans influence other humans through understanding, persuasion, empathy, and social awareness. AI influences humans through statistical prediction and repeated optimization. It doesn't need meaning. It needs measurable outcomes. And that leads directly into the next point. 5. Optimization is where power hides. AI's most important feature isn't intelligence. It's optimization. Optimization means you define a goal, and the system learns how to maximize that goal. The goal could be maximize watch time, maximize clicks, maximize purchases, minimize costs, reduce errors, as defined by the metric. Identify risk, as defined by the institution. Once the goal is defined, the system becomes very good at reaching it. But here's the problem: the goal is not neutral. The goal reflects the incentives of whoever deploys the system. In recommendation systems, objectives often include engagement-related metrics, sometimes alongside others like diversity or novelty. There is a whole body of research on recommender systems that explicitly frames these systems as optimizing multiple objectives at once. This matters because maximize engagement isn't an innocent instruction. It changes what people see. And when what people see changes, what people believe changes. Over time, the system shapes culture without ever intending to. Not because it is intelligent. Because it is optimizing. 6. Deployment turns a tool into a force. A tool becomes a force when it is deployed at scale. Think about this carefully. A single AI model sitting on a server doesn't change society. But an AI model embedded into hiring pipelines, banking decisions, medical triage, content ranking, ad targeting, surveillance systems, government services, begins to shape outcomes for millions of people. At that point, it becomes infrastructure. And infrastructure has power even when it is not smart. Because infrastructure determines what is possible, what is normal, and what is rewarded. A road system shapes where cities grow. A power grid shapes how economies function. An algorithmic system shapes what people see, what they can access, and how they are judged. When AI becomes part of the environment, it quietly rewrites reality. 7. Feedback loops, when AI starts reinforcing itself. One of the most important mechanisms of AI power is the feedback loop. Here's how it works. 1. The AI makes predictions or recommendations. 2. Humans respond to those outputs. 3. Their response becomes new data. 4. The system learns from that data. 5. The next outputs become even more optimized for the measured goal. This is how AI learns the world, without understanding it. But it also creates a major risk. The system begins to reinforce its own assumptions. If it predicts you'll like something and shows it to you, your exposure increases the chance you'll interact with it. That interaction becomes proof that the prediction was correct. Over time, the system doesn't just predict preferences, it helps create them. This is one way AI gains influence over behavior. Not through intelligence. Through recursion, outputs shaping inputs, inputs shaping outputs. 8. Automation bias, why people trust AI too much. AI becomes powerful not only because it is deployed. It becomes powerful because humans defer to it. There is a well-studied phenomenon called automation bias, the tendency for humans to over-rely on automated recommendations, even when there are warning signs that the system may be wrong. This matters because AI doesn't need to be correct to be powerful. It needs to be treated as authoritative. When people assume the system must be right, the system gains social power. And once it gains social power, it becomes harder to challenge. Because if you challenge the output, you can be framed as emotional, irrational, or anti-technology. But technology is not neutral. And automation bias is one of the reasons AI can quietly become the default decision maker. 9. The objectivity illusion. People often describe algorithms as objective. They assume computers don't have emotions, computers don't have bias, computers don't discriminate, computers just calculate, but AI systems do not exist outside society. They are trained on data produced by society. And data includes history. It includes inequality. It includes institutional priorities. Even before bias enters, there is a deeper problem. Optimization is not morality. If you optimize for efficiency, you might reduce human judgment. If you optimize for profit, you might increase manipulation. If you optimize for risk reduction, you might expand surveillance. AI does not ask, should we do this? AI only answers, what achieves the objective? That is why it can be powerful without being intelligent. It is not trying to be wise. It is trying to win the metric. 10. Why AI power often looks like control. Now we reach a point that becomes essential for the rest of this series. AI's power often takes the form of control. Not dramatic control. Not science fiction control. But subtle control, shaping options, ranking visibility, filtering access, predicting risk, nudging behavior, automating evaluation. When AI is used in workplaces, people can become data points. When AI is used in online platforms, attention becomes a resource. When AI is used in institutions, risk scoring becomes a gatekeeper. This isn't because AI is intelligent. It's because AI is scalable. And scalability favors whoever owns the systems. 11. The real danger, confusing power with intelligence. When we believe AI is intelligent, we make 3 dangerous mistakes. Mistake 1, we treat its output like truth, but AI can generate confident errors because it is predicting patterns, not verifying reality. Mistake 2, we excuse accountability, we accept outcomes by saying, the algorithm decided. Mistake 3, we stop questioning the objective, we ignore who defined the metric, who benefits, and who loses. This is how a non-intelligent system gains authority. Not by becoming conscious. By becoming normal. 12. What this means for you. So what should you take away from this episode? A simple but powerful principle: AI doesn't need intelligence to change your life. It only needs data about you, a metric to optimize, a place in the system you depend on, and a culture that treats it as authoritative. When those pieces combine, AI becomes a form of infrastructure. And infrastructure shapes society. Even if it does not understand it. Where the series goes next. Once you understand why AI is powerful without being intelligent, you can see what's coming next. AI doesn't need understanding to reshape work. AI doesn't need consciousness to reshape economies. AI doesn't need intent to reshape truth. It only needs deployment. It only needs trust. And it only needs incentives. That is why the question of AI is not only technical. It is political. It is economic. And it is about power. Share it with someone who thinks AI power comes from thinking. And subscribe to Uncovering Facts for clear, hype-free deep dives into technology, power, and the systems shaping modern life. Next episode, how AI learns without understanding.